Where is Tyrell Malacia? What happened to him? Guys, you've asked me too much of that question, and trust me, I've been doing the work trying to research and find out exactly what happened to our left back who is signed with a lot of hope and expectation from Feyenoord in 2022 for £13 million. Welcome to the United Hotspot. My name is Webb, and here is a proper story of what exactly is going on with our left back who has not been in action for almost a year. Now, guys, you've probably checked on Twitter or X and you've seen that both Tyrell Malacia and Luke Shaw are trending. Well, Luke Shaw is trending because of a statement made by Jose Mourinho saying that Luke Shaw, Anthony Martial, is one of two of those players that he didn't want at the club 6 years ago, but he's surprised are still playing at Manchester United now. But I'm not here to talk about those. Now, Luke Shaw, like Tyrell Malacia, has suffered with injuries to his legs because he has not been playing. He has been in and out of the team, and now we do know he might be back just before the Euros, may be fit enough to make the Euros team for England. But for Man United, there is no hope that Luke Shaw will be back playing this season. But for Tyrell Malacia, it's confusing. We don't know exactly when exactly will he be back. Eric Ten Hag said previously in January that he had been given assurances by the medical team that Luke Shaw and Tyrell Malacia will be fully fit in Jan, and that's why he opted to end the loan spell of Sergio Reguilon and sent him back to Tottenham Hotspur. But what exactly is the real story with this 24-year-old Dutch international who has been almost banished, you would say, from the team, but not for any bad reasons in terms of behavior or the decision, voluntary decision, because of a forced injury. Now, Tyrell Malacia last played football in June when his Netherlands team was taking on Croatia in the UEFA Nations League, and he after that he was with Man United during preseason, and he complained of pains in his knee, a pain in his knee. And when the doctors went and did their scanning, they realized that he had injured his meniscus. Now, if you've played football, you do not want to wish for anyone's son or daughter to have an injury in their meniscus. It is, oh God, it's so painful. A meniscus happens when you keep your foot on the ground and then you twist your upper leg. Now, when that happens, the force can tear the meniscus. The meniscus is a part of your knee. Now, when it tears the meniscus, you have got to have a surgery in most cases to put it right. That's exactly what happened to Tyrell Malacia. It's so painful depending on the level of the injury. Now, with Tyrell Malacia, it must have been so bad that they had to recommend, the doctors at Manchester United recommended an injury to, rather a surgery to Malacia. And indeed, he heed to the advice of the doctors. But here is where it went wrong. So Tyrell Malacia had to make a decision, because when you're going into a surgery as a footballer or as an athlete, it is you to decide, first of all, do you agree to have the injury? Yes, you have to consent. Your family has to consent, because it can go well, it may not go well. Two, you have to decide of which doctors to go with. You need to be comfortable with the doctor who is going to work on you, who is going to dissect your body. Imagine yourself. I don't know whether you ever had a surgery yourself. I pray you don't. I've never had one myself, for as long as I understand, and I thank God for that. But you always want to decide who is going to dissect my body. You want to decide who is going to cut into your body. So Tyrell Malacia was advised by the Man United doctors to go to some doctor they knew in London. But Tyrell said, no, I want to get someone I choose and I'm comfortable with. They said, it's okay, it's your body, your call. Tyrell chose a doctor back home in his native Netherlands. And so it happened. He went back to the Netherlands and he had a successful surgery. It all looked well, and he was then set to come back, recover, and start his rehabilitation. Now, that is, of course, after monitoring his rehabilitation, mostly back in the Netherlands and a few times coming back to Man United as it was recovering, Tyrell Malacia was hoping he's going to return in January. And even the United doctors were convinced that he's going to be back in January. Because when he was, the surgery that was made on him in the Netherlands did not involve Man United. There was not even any supervision from Man United. It was the Dutch national team and his team of doctors that he probably has known from his time at Feyenoord, or probably longer, or even with the national team. So they let him be. So after that, he comes back as he tries to recover, and the doctors realized that he was still complaining, he wasn't okay. So they go back into scanning, and guess what they see? There were fragments of probably bones that were still left in his knee that required another surgery to be redone on him to remove those fragments. Now, that is the setback that was announced recently. If you do recall, they said he suffered a major setback. Erik ten Hag recently pronounced that. Now, first of all, imagine you're a footballer. You've signed for Manchester United. He signed in 2022, had played about just over 20 games for United. He was promising. He was seen as an able backup for Luke Shaw. And just when you're hoping that you're beginning to get into the flow, you get an injury, go on surgery, and then when you think you're recovering, get a setback, have to go back to square one, because removing the fragments sent him back to square one. His mental health certainly could not be right. He started struggling, first of all, with his mental health, but when your mentality is not right, even your body won't respond. Everything will slow down. That's exactly what happened with Tyrell Malacia. Now, the club, Erik ten Hag especially, because of the situation he finds himself into, the January transfer window is done. Sergio Reguilon has been sent back to Tottenham Hotspur. Ten Hag has been forced to play without a natural left back. He hates to play with right-footed players in positions that require left-footed players. That's why he went for Lisandro Martinez. He has made it clear in his playing style he wants left-footed players, especially in defense, on the left-hand side of the defense, a left-footed centre-back and a left-footed player in the left back. But he has been forced to play Diogo Dalot or Aaron Wan-Bissaka or even Victor Lindelof in left back. Why? Because of certain mistakes he says are on the doctors. So Erik ten Hag was fuming and furious with the doctors because how did they not see this? But like I told you, these doctors did not have much to do with it, because even when it went back to correcting the mistakes made in the first surgery, Tyrell Malacia had to go back to the same doctor to correct the mistakes he made. Now, one can say, why did they send him back? Guys, listen, if you buy a poor car and you realize it is messed up, it has to be fixed. Do you take it to a new person to fix it? You take it back to the same person who sold to you the poor car to fix his mess, because he knows the mess better. So that's exactly the situation with Tyrell Malacia. So he gets that setback, and now he is again now recovering. It's sort of back to square one for Tyrell Malacia. That is the situation that he's in, and it's a knee injury that is always so fragile. He has got to be handled with care, but for most importantly, his mental health is in a dangerous state. That's exactly why you've not seen him post on his Instagram for, I think, more than a year. I think he last posted in July, probably. That's the last time he posted on his Instagram during the first phase of his first surgery. That's when he posted. Things have not been well for him. The beauty, though, is that you do not write off a 24-year-old. He's only 24. And whereas he has suffered this double setback, if I would call it, he's young. And for a young player, you cannot write them off. That's why I like it when I see Man United supporters saying, Tyrell Malacia was a good player. We can be patient with him. He might have made a mistake. He wouldn't have known that his doctor, the guy he trusted, he had a reason why he trusted him, the Netherlands doctor, not the guy in London who has been, recommended by Man United to do his surgery, even without the monitoring of these Man United doctors. Maybe he knew. Better the devil you know than the angel you don't. That's what they say. He knew it was a simple, it's not a rare, unique surgery in football. Meniscus, injuries are common. So he did not expect that it could go wrong. It's unfortunate that he did, but we've got to back him to be back. So those of you who have been asking, where is Tyrell Malacia? What happened to Tyrell Malacia? I've been doing the research, and the real story is he is being taken care of to try and see him, first of all, get his mental health right. Guys, it all starts in the head. If your head is not right, your body cannot respond. So with Tyrell Malacia, even biblically, even I think even in the Quran, it is known that everything we manifest in reality, in the natural, is dictated by the supernatural. That everything we see happen physically is first manifested in the invisible realm for it to manifest itself physically. So even for Tyrell Malacia, if he's going to physically cure and have his knee recovered, it all starts from within, from the unseen. That's why they spoke about recently, if you do recall, there was a lot of talk about his mental health. They were saying his setback is mostly because of mental health issues. It is possible. Mental health is everything, because if you don't take care of your mental health, obviously you're not going to take care of your body. It all starts from the invisible to come and be manifested in the visible. That's scripture. Even the world, when God was creating the world, he first said, let there be this. It was first manifested in the invisible before we saw it physically. So that's the nature. That's the rule of life. That's how God designed this world. So mental health is so important. That's why we need to support Tyrell Malacia. I love that people are asking about him. It shows you that people care. Maybe soon we will be seeing him get back to his right mental state, get back up and think positive, and maybe he will fight and win and get out of this state. And when he does get out of it, he will be unstoppable, because without a shadow of a doubt, he is a good footballer. He is young and is loved by Man United. He loves the club. He showed the spirit. He's not one of these bunch of lazy players who don't care about this badge. He has proven that he has got the heart of Manchester United, and I've got no doubt that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his team will back him, will support him until he reigns victorious over the situation he's in now. That is the real story of the status of Tyrell Malacia. For now, he will not be back. He is expected most likely to be back. If all goes well, all factors constant, he might return during preseason of the 2024-2025 season. That's the next season. Is it too late? No, it won't be too late. It will be just the right time for him to recover and return to help this team. This is the United Hotspot. My name is Webb. For now, we are still stuck with Aaron Wan-Bissaka playing left back. Subscribe, and I'll catch you later.